What's up, fellow nerds? I'm Josiah.
I'm Nick.
We're friends.
We're playing Marvel Rivals.
We're friends and rivals. All right, everybody. It's episode 28, y'all. Friends and Rivals, a Marvel Rivals podcast. We got an episode for you today. Obviously, we're coming in hot off of 3.5, so we got lots of impressions to talk about Blade and state of the game and patch notes. We're going to go over the balance patch specifically, of course, this week, along with the hero hot list. We have some really cool, unprecedented news, an interview with Guan Guan, first time that anything like that has happened in the history of Rivals so far. And boy, is it a doozy. It is paving the way for some very interesting things to come in the next week or two here. And then of course we'll have our Reddit take of the week and whatnot. But anyway, before we get to all that, Nick, what's up, bro?
Hey.
Doing all right?
Yeah. I have no idea how to transition into this, but this was something I was saving for you for when we were talking.
Okay.
Okay, so this last week, I got this random friend request, as you do on Discord, from someone who only has one mutual server and no mutual friends, right?
Nice.
And it was from the Rivals server, though, and I had just posted some things on the official Rivals server. So I was like, well, maybe this is in relation to something, I said or posted or whatever. But I was like, nah, like they would have sent a message or something, not just tried to add me as a friend. So I hit block. It's just a scam, whatever. Then I get another request from the same person the next day. And so I was like, okay, maybe this is a real person. So I hit accept and it shows up a message, right? Because people type in like a starting message.
Yeah, welcome message, yeah.
And it was like someone being like overly complimentary about something. And I was just like, okay. So I responded back just kind of just saying, oh, thanks, okay, bye. Right. And like, because it wasn't related to anything. Like it was like, this doesn't seem real, right? And they respond back like immediately. And they're like even more pushy, right? And so I'm like, okay, either this is a scam, which is probably what it is, or I have now like engaged in the beginning of a friendship with someone who is extremely clingy.
Buy Azura!
Yeah. And so I was like, okay, well, I want to make sure that like if this is a real person who just has like attachment issues, I don't want to like, be a jerk.
Beat it.
So I was like, you know what? I have my good old friend ChatGPT, so I'm gonna go ask ChatGPT. I took all of the things that we had said back and forth, just like it was maybe like 6 messages total, right? And put it in there, and to not bias it.
This guy
To not bias it, I just said, "What do you make of this chat?" Right? No context whatsoever.
Yeah.
And usually when I put something into ChatGPT and like I don't give it any context, it'll be fairly hesitant to tell me exactly what's going on here, right? Like it'll usually be like, oh, well, there's like a lot of options, and this is a very interesting chat, and it could be a bunch of, blah, blah, blah. Here's 4 options of what this could be, right? This time, it just straight up immediately was like, this is a friendly neighbor scam, and blah, 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 and just gave me like a detailed analysis of every like grammatical phrase used in the entire thing.
Oh,
and
man.
Like, they told you that they were in this country, but they're really from this country, so that you're not concerned later when they ask you to send Bitcoin to an address that's from that other country or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, what do I do with this information? So I thought for a while about like playing with it for a while, but it was late. And so I decided I was just going to copy and paste the entire ChatGPT answer.
No, you're training them.
And paste it to them, right? Like just as a response. And
Yeah,
surprisingly, they never messaged me back. I don't know.
that's wild,
I'm
bro.
still waiting because I accidentally closed the chat. Now I can't even see it, which
Yeah,
made me sad. But
why would they do that? That's that's a great use of ChatGPT. I'm glad that you used it to dodge a scammer rather than the inevitable future of scammers being AI based.
oh, that's not a
And
future. That's right now.
oh, I mean, I know that there's part of that at least it exists in part with like I mean the especially scary stuff is the like the like
Yeah.
vocal AI copying and things like that. But I have so much fun with like the fake scam bots. I've showed my wife so many times where I've like gotten a message and I just immediately escalate as high as you possibly can when I get something that I can sense as a scam. I'll be like, "Where were you last night? Were you out drunk again?" And I'll just like see whether it's like a person or a bot. Because if it's a bot, it'll be like yes, that business event was great. Like continuing off of their last prompt,
Yeah.
expecting you to go along with it.
If
But
um if you want to know for sure if it's a bot, the easiest way, and kind of funny sometimes too, at least to me, is just ask it to write you a Python script that will do like whatever, because it'll do it.
yeah, just yeah, that's nice. Write me a Python script
Yeah.
for yeah, that's amazing. I love that.
I've
Well,
seen I've seen things online where people were in some customer service chat and like
yeah.
the customer service bot
Oh
said
my
immediately
gosh.
that it was a real person, right? Like this isn't a bot, I'm a real
Right,
person.
right, right.
And they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, where are you from?" And they're like, "Oh, I'm from wherever." And they were doing a pretty good job of pretending to be a person. And then they're
Yeah.
just like, "Hey, can you write me a Python script that does this?" And it spits it out immediately.
I don't know why I'm seeing this conversation like animated in my head and just like the person's face like morphing into a robot and the text of code is just streaming like a receipt out of their
It's
mouth.
just vomiting code
Yeah,
out. Yeah.
yeah, that's amazing.
Anyway,
Well,
I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
no, I mean, GPT-5 just launched, and my goodness, dude, we're in for a crazy future. I there, I, I'm, I mean, I know you'll have thoughts about this, and this isn't the episode, but I watched a guy do some prompt testing with it, and all of them were absolutely insane, but one of them was like, make a video game like now, like do like code a video game and like give me all the code for it, and I want it to do, it's a racing game, I want it to have this aesthetic, I want it to have these influences, I want it to be able to do like, I want it to have like boosts and like walls to dodge and stuff like that. And it I see the brightness of your screen change as you're looking it up, and it codes it in like less than 30 seconds, and he's playing a game like with the full code in less than 30 seconds, and it's like it's not good, like
I was gonna
but
say,
but but like it worked, and it was his first attempt. And what it made me realize is, just like with AI art, like art, visual 2D art was the first thing to get infected with like AI able to replicate more and more and more. And now we're heading into a whole nother world where like he asks it to create a fully functional replica of Photoshop the program, and
yeah,
it does it. And
it
he's
didn't.
like, but it like it gave him code for something that now he quote made and could
Right.
like publish, and he showed like, this is not a like, hey, this is a good thing. His video is like, oh, this is wild, and he was like using the AI created Photoshop app to like edit photos and do all kinds of stuff. And it's just like, man, there will be, we're gonna get to the point where people are able to do that kind of stuff in even more convincing ways, and it's gonna be hard to like make those differentiations.
Yeah, this isn't the episode for it because I have like pretty much the exact opposite opinions of you on this because I'm coming at it from the dev side, and like there is a ginormous cottage industry right now of AI grift, of
Yeah,
like doing quick little demos of stuff that make it look like it could do crazy amounts of things, but then if you ask it to add one more feature, it implodes.
Yeah,
Like
because it's not
there's
building off of it.
well, it is building off of it. It just they I use AI for code at work all the time, and it is really impressive at creating a demo for something,
Yeah,
and then when
yeah.
you ask it to fix a bug, instead of fixing like a line of code that's actually broken,
Right,
it'll go,
right.
"Oh, I know exactly what's wrong with this," and then write 3,000 lines of
Yeah,
code to fix
yeah.
that bug.
Right, right.
And so every single time you ask it to add on, they call it vibe coding when you just like have the AI do it, and you just kind of like tell it like, "Oh, I want it to do this instead," and stuff like that. And there's there's the market's being like flooded with a whole bunch of vibe coding tools that are telling people like, oh yeah, you can make a website or an app without having to know how to do anything, like the AI will do it for
Yeah,
you. But
right.
where what's funny is that you're actually getting a whole bunch of devs making a lot of money on Fiverr fixing the AI generated stuff by just completely deleting it and writing the thing for real, because people try to add extra stuff on and it can't do it. It just can't do it
Yeah.
after a certain level of complexity. It starts just like making crap up that just makes it worse. And then
But
yeah.
you
So
don't
I
think
mean,
it's just going to get better and like exponentially better and better as time goes on?
I don't, because that's not ever how. This is, we don't need to get into the AI
Yeah, yeah,
conversation as the whole thing, but the short
Interesting.
answer is every tech thing that has ever existed has followed this thing called the Gartner hype cycle, which
As you post the wiki link.
as I post the wiki link, because I thought this was where we were going here. Basically, when something new comes out, like it's very quickly like everyone's super excited about all the things
Yeah,
that
of
it can
course,
do
of
that you never
course.
could before. And then you reach the point where people start trying to use it for the things that people promised like way up here
Right,
it could
right.
do, and they find out that in reality the thing is way more complex than the like technology can handle or whatever. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
everyone hates it and says it's garbage. And then you get
Yeah,
past
you
it a
figure
little
out what it's
bit.
actually for, right?
Yeah, and people figure out what it's actually for. But like the text transformers are amazing for so many things, and like I mean it's definitely like the coolest and probably most impactful like technology advancement in our lifetime for sure. But people on this one, the hype cycle has been like ridiculous through the moon. Like it's gonna be its own conscious like thing and take over the world. Like it's it never does that much. I don't know. Anyway, it's not the episode that we're talking about, but
Well, in a few episodes, we'll see if we can have AI, or not in a few episodes. The next time one of us is unavailable to join, I'll see if I can have my GPT-5 premium subscription. I'll just feed it all of the podcasts and say imitate.
that would be fun actually. It'd
Imitate
probably
Nick.
be really good at
Like,
that.
yeah. That'd be
Man,
scary.
you may have just given me a side project.
Please don't. Please don't create a cyberpunk relic of my consciousness. I don't want to be Johnny Silverhand.
No,
Just let
mine,
me
but I
die.
just don't. I can just like phone it in.
That would
Not
be
that I
so
want to do that.
uncanny.
Um,
Anyway,
I no,
yeah,
I one last thing is I thought you were gonna be. I thought because you were talking about GPT-5
yeah,
and you were saying, "Oh, I've got stuff to share about that." The only news I've heard in my portion of the world is about massive disappointment in GPT-5.
yeah.
And
Interesting.
so I was like, that's why I wasn't expecting. I thought you were gonna say like things were crashing and burning, which is why I had the hype cycle
No, no.
thing queued up. So it's just interesting seeing like how different parts of the internet get told different. You know what I mean? Like it could be the truth that like it's actually incredible, and
Yeah,
you know, I'm just in the like cynical dev uh, area of the internet, but I just thought that
yeah.
was
No,
interesting.
I've well, yeah, we just need to move on from the AI conversation. But I mean, my last thought is my assumption as someone who doesn't work with AI outside of just when I want to for my own fun and like just benefit. Uh, I definitely am very curious to see where things go.
Oh
AI
yeah,
is for sure one of my biggest concerns, I think, for just the future of the human race. But it'll yeah, I mean, we'll see. We won't have to guess. We're gonna find out in a decade or so where it's at then.
yeah. No,
So
it's definitely. I mean, I'm always of the opinion that my biggest question mark about the future of the human race is humans. And
Yeah.
but humans doing bad things do bad things more if they have better tools. So
Yeah, exactly.
the AI worries me as being a very good tool to do very bad things if you want to, but it's also a very good tool to do very good things.
Yeah,
So
just like the internet in general.
yeah.
A good thing that you can do on the internet is leave us a 5-star review.
Boom. Pro podcast move. Uh, yeah, we did get a 5-star review this week. Actually, we got 3, but we're gonna do one per week on the
Yeah,
episode. So we
thank you
got your
so
other
much,
2.
though.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a cool week. Okay, this one is from Dabmaster227. We did it for you. Uh, he says, "Can you guys post your gameplay or stream?"
I don't know. Can you?
And he says, "Love this pod. I would love to see these guys play though. But this is an easy 5 stars. Always look forward for the next episode, and I can't wait to hear your reaction and thoughts on Blade." Which by now this came out a couple weeks ago, so by now you've heard our thoughts on Blade, but today you'll get our reactions.
I love the ambiguous implication of the first line of like, love this pod. Like, I would like to see these guys play though. Or is it love this pod? Like, would love to see these guys play though. I think it's the second one, but I did kind of laugh thinking like, this is a great podcast, like, but based off of some of the things they've said,
Yeah.
I'd be curious to see some gameplay.
I know. And my thought is like, I mean, like on the one hand, so we'll say this. We actually last week when we did Armed and Dangerous the first time with listeners, we had some people who weren't able to be there and they wanted to see like a stream of it, or a video later on. And first off, I just got to say I had said that maybe I would try to record this one, and I completely forgot about that moment until right now. So I'm sorry I didn't do it.
But you did record and post your highlights, so there's that.
There was one
for
highlight,
you, Data Master.
Yeah. No, but this kind of gets to a bigger thing that we've been talking about for a long time. Is I've mentioned this. This has to be on your bingo card at this point, Josiah. But I've mentioned like every week the last few episodes that I'm moving soon, and I haven't. Your fingers up like it is on your bingo card. I haven't like set up anything for video or for streaming anything that we're doing yet because I'm in such a temporary setup. But I do like once I settle and Josiah and I are able to hang out in person again and stuff like that. Like I do want us to eventually try to do like a video thing or do like a live recording or stream from time to time or whatever. Yeah. It's just we're not quite there yet. So to answer your question, can we eventually? Yeah. Will you want to see it once you have the opportunity to? That remains to be seen.
Yeah, right. You know, we did in another life, in another channel, in another game, do some light streaming together in the for Halo actually.
And it was mostly about how bad I was
lore. As someone who had never played it and didn't, all that, the couch co-op potential and whatnot. But yeah, no, I think regardless, it'll be fun. You'll unfortunately see on occasion probably a worse side of me when I get really tilted. But it's all good. I'm all for transparency and honesty here.
All right. Well, now that we've had our tech podcast,
yeah,
let's get into the news. All right. Well, it's news time, but we forgot to say something at the end of the review. Thank you, Night Gobbler.
No. How do we keep doing this?
We keep doing it every time.
Getting away with this.
Forgive us, Night Gobbler. We have 3 bits of news today, but one of them is quite huge. But first, before we get to that, This is probably the least relevant news item we've ever had because it applies to like people who live within a certain 20-mile radius. Um, Rivals posted something today saying, Marvel Rivals fans, join us for a special screening of the Fantastic Four First Steps with a live gameplay pre-show and some of your favorite streamers, Rivals voice cast members, giveaways, and more. Get your tickets now. It's in Los Angeles at the El Capitan Theater, and it's on Thursday, August 14th, as in like 2 days from now. Oh, wait. Well, now this is relevant to no one because by the time this episode comes out, this will have already happened.
It'll already go.
So-
Right.
But that's a cool thing that they're doing.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that is cool.
Yeah.
Also, maybe fun fact that I learned today for no particular reason. Maybe not as irrelevant as you might think. This has nothing to do with the podcast, but El Capitan is in LA County. Do you know? This blew my mind. I knew it was a significant amount, but I didn't know how much. Do you know that LA County has more people than 40 out of the 50 states in the continental US and abroad?
Combined?
No.
Just each?
No, individual states. Yeah. It is in the top.
I was like, there's no way it combined. But yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so there's good chance that if you're listening to this podcast, you might be in proximity to the El Capitan Theater. But like Nick said, it won't matter. So
yeah, not to go from our tech podcast to our politics podcast,
census taking.
I mean, it does make sense that California has like 50 something electoral college votes. Like there's a lot of people here. But
yeah.
Anyway, yeah, but if anyone did go to the El Capitan thing and somehow find out about it in time, let us know.
Tell us how it was. Cool thing. I have El Capitan is like core memory childhood stuff for me. Like I went there a lot as a kid. I remember seeing a lot of the Disney Pixar movies there. And man, it just used to be like the coolest thing ever. Like I would rather go to El Capitan. I would rather go to El Capitan than like Disneyland as a little kid, just because the like theme park level stuff that they had there was so cool. So yeah, if I was still around there, I'd probably go. But yeah, we have the interview with Guan done by YouTube channel Rivals Assembled, and man, there's a lot of information in this one. Shout out to NetEase for being willing to do something like this. I know there's a lot of pressure, and answering questions off the fly is really tough. I was thinking about it while I was going through it that, he doesn't ask any follow-up questions, and it's probably because he actually has no idea what he's saying because he's answering all the questions in Chinese.
Yeah, or they were like pre-vetted, like you can ask these questions or whatever,
I was so interesting. I was like, there were a couple points where I like paused and like CSI style zoomed in to try and detect like micro expressions on Guan's face for some of the answers. And yeah, he generally was pretty collected. So yeah, he might have been prepared.
My thought was that like my first half, what made me think about that was the first half of the interview when I was listening. I was like, oh, these are like canned answers and like something we've already heard before, right? Like they were talking about like, what was the first thing you were doing when you were talking about Rivals? And he gave pretty much like the art direction video about how they make characters. And then later on they asked the question about how do you make characters? And it was like almost the same answer, right? And I was just like, okay. Like, but then there were the questions that we hadn't heard them give an answer to before. And that's where all the cool new stuff in this interview was. And I appreciated what they did say that was legitimately new information.
Yep, absolutely. So one of those things is speaking of just heroes in general. So they're already a year into their planned hero cycle. So one of the questions about heroes that prompted this answer regarding the hero timeline was like, do you plan to, essentially I'm paraphrasing, but do you plan to balance out vanguards and strategists with the abundance of duelists. And he was saying that Guan was saying that it's something that they're looking at, they're watching, of course, like classic answer. But he's like, but we're already like a year out with our planned heroes, so like don't expect any sort of change based on this feedback. Essentially, like next season we're not going to get two strategists suddenly. It's going to be what there is.
Right.
And also, I think hidden a layer underneath that question is we may not be seeing a like tank strategist season. I think we're gonna continue to get more duelists, which
I don't think. Yeah, I mean, if Daredevil really is the next season,
yeah,
I don't see
right.
him being anything other than a duelist.
No,
really.
he has to be. Yeah, he couldn't be anything else. Nothing else would make sense for him.
Yeah.
Could you imagine just like cursed, beefy Daredevil?
Right. Yeah, Angela's either going to be a Vanguard or a duelist. I would expect she's probably going to be a Vanguard because they're going to want to push Vanguards and have another female Vanguard and stuff. But
yeah, for sure. But that was cool. Then he also asked a question about, will we be able to play more villains? Ultron is really the only like true like yeah, but even Hela has like she has her own, she's like Hades, god of the dead, like not evil necessarily. Even in her like lore for this season, like she's remorseful and like knows that she's made mistakes by becoming the Queen in Black and whatnot. But I mean, Ultron is like kill all humans.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically he answers by saying like, essentially, at first he says like, oh, well, there'll be more information. He's like, but yeah, more villains are coming. And I'm like, yes,
5.
I know. I sure hope so. And I want to see how they got to bring him. He's literally one of the most important Marvel characters in history, both in the comics and in the MCU. Thanos has got to make his way into Marvel Rivals. And how will they deal with the fact that his ultimate must be the Thanos snap? It has to be. And he has to say, I am inevitable. If it doesn't happen, I'm going to pay you.
I'm trying to think of what you would even design an ability to be the Thanos snap. Like,
you collect the Infinity Stones by like killing certain archetypes throughout the match, and then like once you have them all, you can
kill half of your team and half of the enemy team.
Yeah. No. When they're at half health, you snap, and anybody at half, perfectly balanced. Yeah. Makes it also balanced for gameplay purposes. But anyway, I look forward to that. Probably the thing that people are going to be most interested in is EOMM got brought up. He asked, the Rivals Assembled guy asked, like, hey, what's up with this? Everybody's talking about it. Are you guys doing it? You guys moving away from it? You guys trying to fix it? And
please,
please do something. And in the funniest response ever, Guan pivots to fully prepared for an upcoming video, English language, saying matchmaking is a complex system and we're working on a video to address it that you can expect within the next 2 weeks.
Yeah,
so
it was the only thing he did in the entire interview in English. And at first I was like, oh wow, he's serious about this. He's like, I'm just going to speak from the heart in English. And then I heard like 5 words into it and I was like, oh no, this was a prepared statement. They were ready.
Right. That either they were ready for this event or that he's just been practicing for the upcoming video.
Ready,
But that was the comments on YouTube were really funny. Like, oh, that was interesting. So yeah, but then right after this, the official Marvel Rivals X account says, "Hi Rivals, as our game continues to thrive." Good intro. Again, you guys are really, really good with the
good positive spin before you talk
about it. Spin stuff. We want to reiterate that Rivals does not use EOMM. We are currently working on a video demonstrating our developer insights on the matchmaking and ranked system, which is expected to be released next week. So Whoa.
So this is almost exactly what Guan said, except that they make the specific claim at the beginning that
Yeah.
they do not use EOMM, which well, I'm sure that we're gonna have a whole episode about this whenever that
Yeah, sure.
video comes out. But it yeah, the initial response to the interview with Guan was a whole bunch of people saying he didn't say no, he didn't say they don't use EOMM, he just breezed past it, and so
Yeah.
they're trying to like say no, we do not use it. Now the question is, for a lot of people, there's a lot of different technical definitions of what EOMM would be, and you could use one of those technical definitions to say we are not doing a system that makes you lose on a prescribed time clock, but we are definitely manipulating
Right,
things in
right.
other ways that we call something else.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah,
the debate is wild and as alive as ever.
it's not EOMM, it's EBMM, guys. There's a
Right.
huge difference.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a few weeks, but yeah.
Right. Yeah, and we had a good quick conversation before the episode started about it actually, and I think like the takeaway for me is that honestly, like it doesn't even matter. Something is wrong, and I don't care if it's just that. I think to your point before, like the fact that 80% of the player base is below gold, that alone is enough to say like, oh my gosh, we're like just the churning chaos of it all is destroying things. Because gang, I broke this week. I had the longest loss streak I've ever had in any video game, to my knowledge. I lost 9 games in a row, 6 of which were competitive matches, and I have never experienced, again, to my knowledge, I have never experienced that in any game ever before. And I'm like, oh man, like I want to grind ranked. I want to do it, and I hope that I get some catharsis from the video and the answers that they're going to put out.
I have a solution for you, but you're not going to want to hear it.
Oh no.
I don't know if you noticed when we were playing Armed and Dangerous, but I'm in gold now.
Yeah, I did.
After a week and a half of every night starting in Silver 2, winning 3 games to get to Silver 1, and then losing 4 games to get back to exactly where I started in Silver 2 with no progress, I did one weird trick and I flew up the ranks.
I'm seeing the red circle and the giant red arrow pointing at the speck on the back of your wall right now.
Yeah. Do you know what I did?
No.
You're not gonna like it.
What?
I switched characters from the ones that I enjoy playing. I played Squirrel Girl, dude.
No.
And I have an 85% win rate this season with Squirrel Girl and Comp.
Oh no.
I'm not even kidding. It's unreal. And it doesn't matter if I'm on a win streak or a lose streak. If I'm doing well, if I play Squirrel Girl, I win.
No.
You need to do it.
No.
You need to do it.
I'll tell you what you can do with her nuts. All right. I have standards to uphold, man.
He's like my 3rd most played character this season now. All of a sudden, because I just can't. I can't lose. You check the nuts and you win.
You know what?
I'm not having fun, but I'm climbing.
You're going down a path I can't follow. Next thing I know, Iron Fist is going to be your most played character. Who are you? What? Oh man. In my hero, like in one of our first episodes where we explained like how we picked the heroes we picked, I gravitate toward heroes that have a large impact on the game. And
those nuts have impact, dude.
Huh? What?
Those nuts have impact, dude.
If that's what I have to do, I don't know if I want it.
I'm just saying, just try it. Just try it. See how it works for you.
Try Squirrel Girl specifically?
Yeah, just try it. Yeah.
Oh man.
I just want to see. I want to see. Because part of it might be meta in where we are too, that she's just really good down there. Because I gotta say, when I come up against one down in bronze and silver, like people don't deal with her, and it's just, I was racking up 33,000 damage in like
Jeez.
domination games that went 2-0. Like, how do you like I because you hold it and then you reload instantly, and then like you never have to reload. Like, what's going on?
See, I wish I was good with Iron Man. Maybe that's the compromise I'll make. Because
That's worse.
Iron Man is dominating. Yeah. Iron Man is dominating every game that I'm in.
How dare
Like
you?
the best Iron Man wins
I know.
essentially when I'm playing games
Not when I
with
chuck nuts up at him.
yeah. Yeah. But well, I mean, I'm desperate at this point, so I'm
Just
I'm
try it.
down for anything. I was literally one game away from gold, and then I lost 6 in a row, and
Oh,
I went down. Literally, I think I had 30 points left. So if I had won one, I would have made it, and then I lost 6, and now I'm down at silver 2.
that sucks.
So
Well,
yeah,
we need to play together, and I'll play Squirrel Girl if you can't.
yeah. All right, let's continue. So after that, they do talk about how they do balance changes, which is stuff that I mean we've speculated pretty right about most of it. Essentially, they're taking a look at everything. It's very data driven. They're trying not to overbalance based off of the high level competitive tournament stuff, but still have a game whose ecosystem allows for the flourishing of an esport high skill tournament mode. So yeah, these balance patches, the balance patches and hero hot lists and stuff. um there is a pretty predictable element to it, but there's still obviously stuff going on behind the scenes that nobody has access to see, why
Yeah,
they keep buffing Luna, Snow, and Hawkeye,
right.
but and Star-Lord. um but yeah, and then they also talk about some memes and skins and
Yeah,
man, we yeah.
these were my notes because I just thought this was hilarious. So towards the
Yeah,
end, they got a lot of questions about like, hey, you've had a lot of pop culture
yeah,
references and meme references and stuff, and they're specifically pointing out like outfits that look like some pop culture thing that some musician or actor or something wore recently that people were talking about or whatever. And he, probably legally needed to avoid saying, "Oh yeah, we copied this specific thing from the real
right.
world."
Yeah.
But he just kind of essentially said, if I can translate to Nick speak, yeah, we realize that leaning into the memes is good marketing, and it makes us money. Like, he was just saying, like, you point out things that people like, and then we've been listening to what people like, and it's working for us.
And they spend money on it. So there we
um,
go.
and then they had a little bit of conversation about skins coming back into the game, like with the Season Zero Battle Pass coming back a few weeks ago or a month ago, and like the galactic skins coming back and stuff. And they asked specifically about the cyan venom from the beta and the
Yeah.
white scarlet witch from the alpha. And I really liked his answer here. On the one hand, he said, with things coming back, we try to do it sparingly, but
Hmm.
we do want to be able to bring back limited time skins from time to time, but we don't want to do it too often. Um, and then, but he mentioned specifically, he was like, about the cyan venom and the white scarlet witch. Those were specific rewards for being in the alpha and the
Yeah.
beta, and so
Yeah.
we're never going to release those again. He didn't mention this, but like the comp rewards, I would imagine, are the same kind of deal. That
Oh
you're
yeah.
never going to be
Right.
able to like get the
Right.
comp reward from
Right.
some
It
other
should
thing,
be.
right?
It should be.
Yeah, those things like that make sense that they're supposed to be exclusive and whatever. So some
Right.
people in the YouTube comments for the video were very upset about not being able to get cyan venom, and were
No.
like, "Oh, this is a travesty" or whatever. And
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
no, like
I,
it's a
I
beta
don't want
reward.
to. I don't want to lose access to a battle pass that I paid for when a
Yeah,
season ends. But if I don't reach a certain level of achievement by the time a season ends, like yeah, I didn't earn it, and I
I
don't
didn't do
deserve a
it.
second
Yeah,
chance to do it. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Like that time gated stuff isn't inherently bad as long as it's balanced against a fair system and having options that are core to the progression experience that aren't time gated. So
right. And a lot of the time gated stuff, like so there was someone in the comments on the YouTube video about the cyan venom specifically, which I get because they wanted it, right? Like this was just them projecting because they wanted it. But
Right.
they were talking about how like, oh, this is this terrible thing to time gate it and use FOMO or whatever. Like they're not using FOMO to get you to play the beta for a game that
Right.
already came out. Like
Right.
it it was a reward for playing the beta before the game came out. It was an incentive to get people to try the game
Right.
before the game came out. Like
Yeah.
the FOMO argument about things being bad when they use FOMO is when they use FOMO to get you to spend money. Them not giving you a skin again is not them using FOMO to get you to spend money. Like
Exactly.
yeah. So anyway, the last thing that was asked was the Rivals Assembled guy, like props to him. He
I
just
know.
straight
He
up
just
was
went
like,
for it.
so how do you respond to people calling this a Gooner game? And you see Guangguan like,
Yeah.
it was like the only time I saw him flinch a tiny little bit. And then he just went and he said essentially, again, it was the same thing he said with the memes. Basically, he said, you know, we base skins on like the comic source material and on things that people like seem to engage with.
That's
He was like on on things that the community seems to enjoy, and it's working. They seem to enjoy it. And that was it. I was like, you know what? Fair. Yeah.
It's butts. They engage with and enjoy butts. That's thank you very much.
Yeah. So basically, how do you respond to the Gooner game allegations? And his answer was, look, people like butts.
Exactly. What are you gonna do? Sue me. You won't, but you'll buy my skins. Oh man. Well, very cool. I hope we get to see more of this kind of like casual, relaxed settings with some of these guys, because I think so many good conversations happen when the community gets to engage directly with the developers and ask questions and have conversations and stuff. So, yeah. But speaking of spending money on skins. Whoo-wee, we got a couple hot ones for you coming in this week with Polarity Bond Cloak and Dagger getting their 70th skin, and Polarity Soldier, Winter Soldier, getting his second ever skin in Marvel Rivals.
Yeah. And if you like having a giant yellow bird beak, then this is the Winter Soldier skin for you.
Here's the thing, man. I'm a bird guy, all right? Like,
I know you are.
I like my bird motifs. I like my corvids. I've been sent to the ER not once but twice from handling wild birds, respectfully.
You almost lost your eye to a bird.
I did. But I got a confession to make. I'm not vibing with his beak, man.
I'm not either.
It's kind of wacky. They had the chance to go like kind of Plague Doctor-ish, and they instead of going that direction, they went like Masquerade. And
yeah.
The rest of his skin, though, did you see the video?
I did, and I like all of it except predictably the beak and the hair. The like hair.
Oh, you don't like the tentacle hair? Thing. Oh, I love the tentacle hair. That was like
I know you do.
That was like one of the selling points for me, dude. And the voice, his Armed and Dangerous again voice line ults are already some of the most iconic things of the game, but adding that extra symbiote overlay on top of it, oh dude, he looks so cool. But I just I think even if I was a Winter Soldier main, I would be really, really tempted. But that even though you're not gonna see the beak while you're playing, it's just really funky. I think that was a big misstep.
Yeah, the Polarity ones have been interesting because I love the idea of the Polarity skins, but none of them have really worked for me yet. Because of the beak thing for Winter Soldier, and then we've got this Cloak and Dagger one, which is probably the Polarity one that I've liked the most.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there something? But what about was there something you didn't like about Blade?
No, Blades was cool.
I love Blades.
You know what? Blades was cool.
I think actually had to stop myself from buying his today.
No, Blades is cool. You're right. I think what I saw is there's in the trailer. Did you see the trailer for the Winter Soldier one?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So there's how many of them in
3.
there?
Because
There's
it's him, Cloak and Dagger, Venom.
Cloak and Dagger, but they're 2 people. But
Yeah,
I was just trying to get you to say the thing. But
Oh. Oh man. There's 4 costumes.
yeah,
There. I said it. Yeah.
But Venom had a polarity skin there too. And it had the same kind of thing where it was like I just didn't love the execution of the bird thing.
His I think is cool.
I think it's cooler than Winter Soldier's, but I don't know. I don't know that I would get it. So I guess the Cloak and Dagger one is probably the coolest one to me. But Cloak just kind of looks like Cloak, but with gray hair. I think it's just that Dagger has this cool like Zelda Twilight Princess thing going on.
Yeah.
I think that like headband thing is really cool. But I don't know. I want to like the polarity skins as a concept. I just haven't liked them in practice, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think the Venom one. I will disagree personally about the Venom one, but I do fully agree about the Winter Soldier one. That one that bums me out a little bit, but it's okay. I'm not sure why Cloak and Dagger needed another skin, but I mean this is probably my favorite of theirs so far. It's really really cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, do you want to do podcast patch notes?
Let's do podcast patch notes. You have exactly 2 minutes on the clock, and go.
I'm gonna actually do it in 2 minutes this week. It's gonna happen. Okay.
I believe in you.
Them default skin emote we mentioned last week. That the patch notes said that they changed it somehow.
Yeah.
I went in and tested it. I'm not really sure. On the default and on the pink skin, it looks like bubbles come up from him and he stays pink until you move. But I'm not really sure how that's that much different than before.
I'll patch note your patch note.
In your patch note, not mine. TAF. We found out what TAF is. So someone in our Discord and then also someone on Spotify, we had 2 Australians come at us from different directions and say that TAF is like a trade school or like community college kind of deal. And
I was right.
Yep. So you were right, but also we were wrong.
Oh man.
By thinking, what's TAF? So there we go. Our American ignorance was clear last week. And then the last one is kind of it's based on another Spotify comment we got from Your Name, and
great movie.
It was about we were I just realized that you and I both had different ideas last week about what Resource Rumble meant by being a new game mode, because you made this reference to it running into the rotation of like Convoy, Convergence, Domination, and I totally had never thought that Resource Rumble was going to be like a new game mode in the sense of like for regular Rivals play. Like I thought it was like a parallel like new game mode, more like a Clash of Dancing Lions, Battle Matrix Doom Match kind of deal.
I don't think
like
so.
One that they were gonna like invest in and make competitive in. So I have no idea, but it just occurred to me like as I was prepping for this that game mode could mean either one. And I'm excited to find out next week what's going on. But I think you're probably right. I think it is going to be like a 4th game type for the main game. But Your Name was saying on the other end that he thinks it's going to be like a card type game, like Warcraft Rumble or something.
If they not that wouldn't be cool as an event, like I'm going to just say event game mode. But if it,
I don't think they would do comp for something like that.
Yeah, that'd be pretty wild. All right. My 2 minutes. So I do know the difference because when I got the Venom bubblegum skin, I was super excited for it and then disappointed. So it used to be that when you would emote on his default black Venom skin, he would still, when the bubble popped, his Venom skin would still be black and it would just have a shimmering pink effect. Now, when the bubble pops, it straight up turns into the pink skin. It drops off when you move or interact in any way.
I still wish that we could load into the game as the black skin and then end up as the pink one. But
that would be so cool. Yeah, I know that would be neat. Also, I don't know how I didn't notice it as a massive FromSoft fan and lover of Elden Ring, but Blade's polarity skin is 100% a reference to one of the main characters in Elden Ring, which is D, the Hunter of the Dead. He's got like the half gold armor with a head mounted. It's his brother's head, like inlaid in the gold on his shoulder, just like Blade has Hela's head. At least I assume it's Hela. Mounted like, huh?
Oh gosh, that's Hella's head.
Yeah. On his shoulder. So I was like, oh man, even cooler now. And then I was very important point of clarification because people are going to try it and get killed and flame me. I was wrong about Blade's parry. So last week I said that in the first like half second of his parry window, he takes no damage. No, not true. He takes 80% damage at every step of the parry. What does happen in that first half second is that he is unstoppable. So he can't be grabbed. He can't be swallowed by Jeff. He can't be anything within that first half second of the parry. And then last thing, my time's up. I haven't heard a single content creator mention this, and I've watched a bunch of Blade videos, but Blade's block has a resource. When you hold block, he has a bar that depletes throughout the block cycle, and I've literally not heard one person mention this, which is crazy. So now you know.
Cool Guys Guide had it.
I didn't. Oh, okay. Then I just missed it because I didn't see it in his at all. But
that's the only reason I know about it.
Okay. All right. Well, I thought I was cool. I thought I was a cool guy and discovered it on my own. But
all right.
On to the main topic.
All right. So for main topic 1 this week, because this is kind of a split episode, we're just doing our first impressions for 3.5 now that we've been playing it a little bit. Josiah, have you gotten a chance to play much this week? I had a little bit of time, but I haven't had as much time as I'd like.
Yeah. I had about as much time as I usually do, which is not as much as I'd like. But yeah, no, I played a decent bit this week. Yeah.
Nice. What do you have any general first thoughts or anything you want to talk about first?
Oh man, it's always tough when there's these last 3 half season have been really difficult for me skipping season 3 because when Emma, Ultron, and now Blade came out, I've just like mainlined those characters. So my experience of the game is like very altered from what I think a lot of people are having. But I did take time to play some of the other characters, especially those in team ups. I played Groot, I played Loki, I played Mantis. Because I know you were super excited about that one and got me hyped about it, and I wanted to experience it. I did a couple other things, but yeah, I like so far I don't have any complaints.
I'm having a lot of fun this season.
Yeah. I like noticed outside of matchmaking. I noticed that in each match there wasn't like one thing where I'm like, oh my gosh, this is just like the dumbest thing ever, or like this, I'm so sick of this combo, I'm so sick of this whatever. We're still only a weekend, so maybe someone's going to discover something. But I am happy to say that I do feel like my impressions of Blade were pretty specifically right in some areas, but we'll get to that when we talk about Blade.
We were talking about not having any complaints so far and having a pretty smooth experience. And so I actually want to pull an audible because I have a list here of things for us to talk about, but I want to go all the way down to toxicity changes first. Mm-hmm. Because you know what I have noticed this week is a like surprising, like this is anecdotal, of course, because it's just my playtime. But like in comp, I've been playing comp and I have noticed a surprising difference in how the games go. From like I haven't had a single person disconnect this week in comp. I haven't had a single team that's just flaming each other the entire time. Like I think people are actually spooked about getting banned for voice comm stuff and like the new penalties for leaving and stuff like that. Because I've had my games where the comp game like has gone awful, but it's been because we've been playing bad. It hasn't been because we've been like at each other's throats. So I'm sure that's not universal, but I'm just saying in my little pocket, it's been pretty okay. I know you had a 9 loss streak, so I'm sure you had some horrendous things in there.
It's not universal. I'm sad to
Yeah,
say.
I'm sorry.
I did have one of the worst toxic rank matches I've had. as is par for the course. My yang to your yin. I had to mute 3 people in voice and chat throughout the course of a game, which was wild because one. Granted, I may have provoked a little bit in the beginning.
Oh, I see. Okay.
No. Let me explain. One guy, I think I know what happened. The ranked game started. We lost this game, of course. The ranked game started, and immediately this guy starts like singing loudly over the mic, and so I muted him, and I should have just left it at that. I typed in chat, fastest mute in the West. And I think I very quickly found out that this guy was in a 3-stack because 2 other very annoying people came into voice comms and were like flaming me the entire time. Gang, I ended SVP, had more I was playing Blade, I ended SVP, had more damage than anybody, more kills than anybody, and no one had said anything in the chat. The enemy Scarlet Witch said W Blade, to be honest, though. Chat. And I was like, thank you.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But I will say on that note, on a positive on a positive note on that note, I once again got to experience sweet justice, not from a disconnect this time, but someone started a game and immediately just dropped like racial slurs in the chat with like, you know, creating letters out of symbols and things like that. And I reported them immediately. Within 2 hours, wow. I had a message saying they were banned. Yeah, or they were they were muted. They were muted from chat. And I was like, holy crap. that's efficiency right there.
Yeah,
so,
they've got people watching that a lot closer than yeah.
So
it's probably easier to verify too, right?
Yeah,
like you just have to pull up the chat log. They don't have to actually watch the game.
Right. I really hope that these measures foster a community that like does not tolerate toxicity and that, you know, can trust that the devs are going to do something about it.
Yeah.
So I like that a lot.
In my neck of the woods, it's been a good week, which is in contrast to right before the patch. I had just an awful week of that.
Yeah,
so
I know. We had
that probably made me notice
really
it.
Toxic.
Yeah. Let's see what else changed. We had the shader compilation thing. I haven't noticed the downside of it. Like it's just been kind of. I haven't had to compile. It's been good.
I only saw one thing. The very first time I loaded in season 3.5 on my when I went to the hero select page, some of the shadows from the heroes popping out of their icons lingered for like 1 second.
Okay, yeah, I've maybe
like,
seen some little things like that.
Yeah, it was like the most minor thing ever. But other than that, yeah, I'm right there. I haven't noticed anything.
But I'm down to not have to like spend, turn it on, walk away for 15 minutes. So
worthy exchange. Absolutely. Yeah, not at all like what we actually talked about it with our Armed and Dangerous group last week, how bad the implementation of it was in Call of Duty and how it would just absolutely tank your performance. It was so bad that I thought my PC was broken when I installed the new Call of Duty last year. And I was like, why am I getting like sub 60 frames per second on a 4090? And it was because the shader compilation was absolutely throttling everything.
Speaking of throttling your frames, we actually forgot to mention that they
thank you
rolled back the NVIDIA update from last week. So if you have an NVIDIA graphics driver, Rivals actually said go back to the previous one because it's causing a lot of frame lag for people.
Yep.
I am a fool because I'm just too lazy to do it. Because every time I update my graphics driver, all my wallpapers on my different monitors get like sized up weird and like
What the
yeah,
heck?
it like puts the same wallpaper on all 3 screens and like
Oh
I
my gosh.
just it messes it all up, and so I'm just too lazy to change it. So I've just been enduring random
Huh.
frame drops, but it
I've
hasn't been
never
that
had
bad
that
for me.
happen.
Um,
Well,
but
and
you should probably roll back because
yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah. Our editor dropped the tweet in our Discord, and I was like, oh my gosh, this explain. I have been having performance issues. Yeah, where I'm like, oh wow, like either I don't know if as I'm playing Blade, like something about him is like making this happen. But then he posted that. And I was like, oh wow, okay, no, yep. I had just updated my drivers to the newest one because you have to play Battlefield 6, and it was the beta weekend, so I did that.
nice. Well, I guess all that's left to really talk about is Blade and all the team ups, right?
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about the team ups here? Or do we want to talk about the team ups when we talk balance patch?
I mean,
Since,
I feel like we already talked about the team ups a lot last week. So for me, I would just like to talk about what I've seen in the game
sure.
so far. I really want to see the one that I haven't seen yet that I really want to see is the Star-Lord one. I haven't got to see that in action yet, but man, let me tell you, grinding on Blade this week, I have gotten the Cloak and Dagger team up in almost every game I've played. And
Yeah.
that is, dude, that thing is so clutch. It's so good. It's not even funny. Like I'm like so used to using it as a core part of his kit now because I get it so often that it'll be weird. It'll be weird to play when that team up inevitably goes away.
Yeah.
But
I haven't seen a lot of the Star Lord one either, but I did play a game with it as Star
yeah,
Lord.
okay.
I'm a terrible Star Lord though, so I can't tell you. Like I know that
Mm.
this team up ability is an incredible tool because the
Oh yeah,
cooldown on it is super short.
yeah. Did we
Like
ever find out what it was for sure? Like,
I was gonna go find out exactly what it was, and I didn't. But it's very short.
yeah,
Yeah, I know like it's made me way more interested in playing Star Lord because like I know it's busted. I'm not good with him yet. But
yeah. I have experienced the bustedness of the Groot Mantis Loki team up though.
yeah.
I mean, so I am very bad with Mantis, and I don't know, like Mantis is healer hella. There's something about quick fire rate, like straight shot. It should be the easiest thing to land, and for some reason, I cannot land shots with Mantis, and so
The projectile speed on Mantis is weird for some reason. Like I don't know if it's a different projectile speed than most characters have,
yeah.
but like I have a hard time landing shots on people that are moving with her too.
Maybe it's because I subconsciously expect it to be hit scan like hella, and it's not. Like
Yeah, maybe.
I
Yeah,
mean
I could see
that
that.
could be it. But so I did not have a good time on Mantis, unfortunately. But I did have a really good time on Groot. Um, I had more fun with Groot than I had on Loki, but I definitely benefited from Loki while I was playing Blade, especially from that just the increase in the radius of his runes. But Groot, oh my goodness, dude, that healing wall is so good. I like I had we were losing a game in this was quick play, but like I saw there was already a Mantis and a Loki on the team, and I was playing Emma, and I'm like, oh shoot, like complete the team up, switch to Groot, and we won. Like
Nice.
we actually like steamrolled them, and I don't know like what percentage of that was the healing wall, but it I noticed it frequently healing not only myself but the rest of my team, and it was really good.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna stand by what I said last week about this team up. Like it feels
Yeah,
really good. It
yeah,
doesn't feel really good in an unfair way though, which I
yeah,
like. I'm not annoyed when I see it. I just know they're gonna be good and they're gonna be hard to kill.
yeah.
Um, I haven't seen it as much as I want to on my own team. Like I haven't
Mhm.
seen like I'm willing to play any of the three of them. Like they're all super fun to me.
Yeah,
Um, and I just haven't seen enough times where someone's been playing one of them so I can take Mantis or take the other one, you know.
right.
But I'm actually having a lot of fun on Mantis Mantis is going to be my next hero spotlight,
Nice.
and I'm glad that it happened now and not
Yeah.
in the last season, because I'm gonna have a lot more thoughts now with all of this than I would have a couple weeks ago.
Why
But
why would you say that? Why would you say that you have more thoughts now than a couple weeks ago?
what are you doing? You're trying to finish a bingo
Why would you say that though?
because the team up's good and there's
Yeah,
stuff to
but
talk about with it.
why would she be your hero spotlight? Why would she be your hero spotlight if you
Because she's the next most played character I have.
Oh yeah. But you
Yeah.
haven't played her
I don't think you're
recently.
getting this. I don't think you're getting this.
No.
You threw your hand too early. I have no idea what you're aiming for, but you're not gonna get it.
Man, should I just give it to myself? Where like you're dancing around it.
No.
Oh,
You can't just do that.
No,
You know what I
no.
haven't seen enough of is the Adam Warlock Luna Snow. I've played a couple games of Adam,
Yeah.
and Adam feels really good.
Oh my
and
gosh,
we'll talk
dude.
about that. We'll talk about that in the balance post.
Yes.
But I haven't seen the Luna team up when I've been playing Luna. I have been playing Luna, but I haven't gotten the Adam Luna combo yet.
Speaking of Luna's team ups, I also haven't gotten healed by an Iron Fist yet, because of course I haven't, because he's freaking Iron Fist, and he's not going to focus on supporting me. He's going to focus on being freaking annoying.
I know, yeah. I have seen more people playing him though.
Dude, he's nasty, and I mean, this is. We have the hero hot list to go over, and that's not even incorporating his buffs yet. And he has already been doing some dirty work in the game. And I mentioned last episode that I couldn't think of one game where I had seen an Iron Fist. I have had an Iron Fist in almost every single game I've played this season, and he is nasty, dude. Your AI Iron Fist was gross and Armed and Dangerous. So, or no, my AI Iron Fist. Yeah,
yours. Yeah. Well, I guess let's get to the half vampire in the room.
Oh my goodness.
You've been playing a bunch of Blade,
dude.
Other than just hype, how do you? How do you feel?
So if I can summarize in one sentence, I made a prediction last week toward the end of the Hero Spotlight. I said, I think people are going to have a really hard time with Blade, because I think I made the claim, I think he's going to be the hardest hero to play in the game, like to play well. And having played him now for a week, I think that is true. And I think that we're going to see in Hero Hot List, I think we're going to see lower pick rates than you would expect for a new hero, especially for one as hyped up as Blade, because I think that people are I have noticed that when I haven't gotten the dirty insta-lock, the person who does insta-lock will swap halfway through the match when they're getting absolutely bodied, because they're just holding E on at all times and constantly having 40% healing reduction and trying to dive and dying. Like, I think Blade is really, really good, but I think there's a weird section of a pretty large section of the community right now that's talking about how he needs buffs. And I'm like, you are insane.
Yeah, he does not need buffs.
He absolutely does not need a buff. And people, the big one that I've seen everywhere, from YouTube to Reddit to the Rivals Discord, is people saying, "Oh, well, you know that he's bugged, right? You know that his healing is bugged. It's supposed to be 60%, and actually, if you do the math, it's only 36%." It's like, no, the 60% is before the 40% healing reduction that he incurs on himself. It's not bugged. If he got 60% self-heal, he would be so broken, it'd be ridiculous. Like, that's to balance, that 60% was to balance it out. He's not supposed to be able to sustain himself forever. He's supposed to just not instantly die.
Magic. If you're getting a whole bunch of hits in, you're gonna. I mean, it's the same mechanic that Magic has, really.
Right.
The bonus health on hit.
Right.
It's just being distributed differently.
Now, I will say one thing that I was wrong about, and this is like kind of a big deal, and I'm like, I'm trying to think back to the streamer gameplay that I was watching, and I don't know if they're just fighting bots, which I know a lot of them were, because in like the pre-release, it's like almost, I don't know if it's all bots, but it's like mostly bots, if it's not all bots.
No, it's a bunch of people who have been invited into the partner program.
Okay, but I know that they fight a lot of bots because
Sure.
they can't fill. Blade can definitely lose 1v1s.
Yeah, he can. Yeah.
In particular, what I noticed I noticed it with two heroes, and when I died in 1v1s against other people other than these two heroes, the trend stayed the same. I lost a lot of 1v1s against Emma, and I lost a lot of 1v1s against Bucky. And in both of those scenarios, I realized that Blade loses 1v1s when people prevent him from building engine, from
Sure.
building up his stacks, his speed, from stopping him from regaining health, from stopping him from reducing your healing received, like anything that can grab, knock back, slow down, kick away, whatever, like that.
Yeah.
Really,
All the anti-dive.
yeah, he is very, very susceptible to CC. I think more so than people like Magic. But yeah, I like Blade a lot.
I think he's gonna do better the more people play the Mantis team up, right? Like, because the Mantis team up is grouping everyone up and giving you Loki clones to farm your speed off of, and that kind of thing. And like, he does really, really well against grouped up enemies, which they've been releasing a lot of heroes that do really, really well against grouped up enemies. And that has been something that I think we talked about it a couple episodes ago, about how, in comparison to Overwatch, like, there's a lot less deathballing in Rivals. So there's a lot of those things where, like, if you get a brawl character that's like really good against grouped up people, or even like the Phoenix style, like, poke sustain kind of thing that's good against grouped up people, like, it can be really hit or miss how that goes. But what Blade has going for him is the 1v1s are pretty good. Except for the people with like the heavy CC, like he can also just do the classic dive thing if he needs to. He's not locked into just grouped up people like Squirrel Girl or something like that. But
the thing with Blade is he's such a Swiss Army knife, jack of all trades kind of character. Like, if you want to use him to outperform any of the heroes that fit in, that like main his sub roles. So like, if you want to do Magic things, but do better than Magic, he requires a lot more effort. Like, you have to build up a certain kind of play style to be able to be as effective as her. Or if you want to do more like, poke, sustain kind of things, like you have to think very differently from like Punisher, to just like, keep a certain distance and fire into the enemy team and stuff like that. Like, like I said, Blade requires a lot of effort. And I find I had a hard time with him at first in my first couple games, because I was like, oh my gosh, the combo swapping and like weapon switching and turning on, like remembering to turn on and off the vampiric bloodline like at the right times, and also the absolute mind foil of Magic's dive being on E, but Blade's dive being on Shift.
Yeah.
Killing me. I kept accidentally thinking that I was going to dive someone, and I just initiate 40% reduced healing on myself and stand idly by and die.
At the beginning, I was thinking, like, do I switch those keys? But like, it feels right on Blade to be where it is. So I left it.
It does. But all that to say, I really like Blade. I'm excited to see where he ends up as people figure out more stuff. I've already seen people figure out like some animation cancel combo stuff on him, which I'm excited to implement in my playstyle. But yeah. What are you laughing about?
I'm laughing that you've been talking for like 2.5 minutes straight about Blade, and I've been trying to cut in and like agree with you on things, and I
No,
haven't
dude.
been able to.
This is
All
my
right,
monologue.
all right. So now it's my monologue, and I'm gonna have to go back into things that you said. So I 100% agree on the flexibility thing with Blade, that he can play a whole bunch of different play styles, but like the specialists are better at each individual one unless you're putting in, Spider-Man levels
Yeah.
of effort on
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
that thing.
yeah.
And I think what's interesting about that is that it makes Blade a character that's way more. I hesitate to say this because I don't want people to do it, but way more one-trickable than a lot of the other like brawl, dive, flanker type characters. Like, because you can very easily adapt to whatever's going on without having to switch characters, and I think there's a lot of value there. And like you start going in heavy on the vampiric bloodline ability and doing the dive thing, and you're like flying into an enemy team and you keep dying too quick, then you're like, okay, I can just pull back and do shotgun for a while and go to a more like Psylocke style play style where I'm just gonna get people low and then dive in and finish them and then get back out, and shotgun for a while. So I like that. And I think, again, agree with you too, that like my first few games as Blade were awful. And like
Yeah.
some of
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah.
what you were talking about keybinds and like all the
Yeah.
combos and everything. Some of it was just not really like getting that there's like 4 different ways to play him all in one,
Yeah.
and like they're just flavors to add to the palette depending on what's going on in
Right.
the specific game, right? And
Right.
so I give you this little exponential growth chart here to explain how I felt
I've had
with
this
Blade.
highlighted for a while. I'm like, what is
Yeah,
this?
this was how I felt playing Blade. Like my first couple games, I just felt awful with him. I'm like, this is not fun at all.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then I was playing mostly with Marcy, our editor, this week, and he decided that he liked Blade, and so then I just couldn't play Blade for like 3 days. He was just Blade every single game. I stayed down there, and then like after that, I came back to it, having marinated in like, what is this character like, and now I'm just having a blast with him, like
Yeah.
doing way better.
Dude, you killed it in our Armed and Dangerous. I mean, we were neck and neck that game in like every single
Spoilers.
stat comparable, but especially with your ult usage. Your ult usage, I think, like single-handedly won the game,
Well,
honestly.
you can thank your bots for that, but yeah, the spoiler alert for Armed and Dangerous, which we'll get to in
Spoiler
a few
alert.
minutes. Spoiler. Um, but yeah, I don't know. He's such a cool character. I like him even more than I thought I was going to.
Yeah.
Um, but you know what? He feels very similar to Magic. He feels like a character where most of the time when I die as Blade, I feel like it was my fault that I died, and not
Hmm.
like, the enemy team just killed me. Like
Yeah.
I usually, when I die, I'm like, oh man, I came out of Bloodline on accident. Like I misclicked and came out of Bloodline, and
Yeah. Yeah.
or
Oops.
I clicked into
Minion.
it on accident, or
Yeah. 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 I
um,
took on the entire enemy team because I have health steal. That's supposed to
yeah,
keep me alive,
exactly.
right? Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I like him. I'm going to be playing a lot of him, and we might be fighting for whose hero spotlight ends up
That's
being
all
him,
right.
but it'll be soon, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Either
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the someone said I think it was the when I was watching the number one Magic stream, he said that Magic is like a snake, and where her play style is she is like coiled at all times, and then suddenly she strikes and someone's dead. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
and then
yeah.
she goes back, she like retreats and then goes back and like coils up and then strikes.
Right.
Blade is like a wind-up toy where you're like crank, 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 and for a while there you're like, is anything gonna happen? And then you let go, and suddenly, bam, 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 bam. Like it's
Yeah.
just, the magic happens.
That's
Pun not intended.
that's a great way to put it. Like
Yeah,
that is how it feels. I feel like with Blade, I won't get any kills for a while, and then I'll
yeah,
get like a cluster of them.
yep, yep.
And then I won't get any for a while, and then it'll be 3 or 4, just because you find that group and you just
Yeah.
all over the place, and
How is that? I really hope that
I'm
comes
waving my
through.
arms
Yeah,
like too
yeah,
short.
yeah, yeah. You can't.
Yeah.
I've been disappointed in I don't know who to scapegoat here. Discord, Yeti, like my microphone. But
It's Discord.
there have been so many moments where we do something that I think is funny, and then I listen to the episode. I'm like, gosh, dang it! It didn't come through at all. It just muted us. But
Well, you know who always comes through?
who's that?
Sebastian. Take it away.
Hey chat, Sebastian Stan here, armed and dangerous again.
It was prophesied that one day the hero that was broken would rise again to slay the unkillable monster.
And Nick, you've slain me.
Yeah.
My streak, beautiful as it was, lies defeated in the dirt.
It's true.
I got crushed, man. I went 0-2. It wasn't even I with the second round, we didn't even capture the point once. It was the first one we had some back and forth for quite a while, and then the second one it was 0 to 100.
Yeah. Full disclosure, I had one more human than you did. But
you did have another human.
We decided after last episode when I had lost 5 or 6 in a row that we were like, you know what we should do whenever we have an odd number of people or someone who's like grandmaster or above, we should handicap whoever lost.
Yeah.
Whoever won last. I don't know which direction that goes.
Yeah,
but
handicap
the
winner. Yeah.
Yeah. Whoever won the previous week. So next week you get the advantage, and we'll see if this just turns into swapping every week. But
yeah.
This was a fun week. I enjoyed it.
It was fun. It was a really fun match, and man, both of us being Blade was quite the thrill. You got MVP, I got SVP, and our stats were so similar. We tied for most kills.
Yep.
We had our deaths were 2 apart. Our assists were 1 apart. Our total damage was only 300 apart. Our damage blocked was also less than 300 apart.
Yeah.
Now, where it changes, and I think this is very interesting. Well, first of all, you got a pentakill, which was insane. I only got a triple. But the one place where there's a drastic difference is you have more than double self-heal, which is very interesting. And I think that I really underutilized my vampire blade form in this match because I was really afraid of you and Hulk. I didn't want to get in that fight because I knew I was going to lose, and I did constantly. I think the only people that killed me were you and Hulk, actually.
Right. I was farming your Loki and Mantis. That was why I had so much of the self-healing, was because Loki would like drop all his clones right around him, and then him and Mantis would just hang out in the middle of them. They were both bots. Like they weren't the smartest, but they did have the team up. But that just let me kind of like fly in there and get a whole bunch of healing chain on them together. But
right. Well, yeah. Also, your Adam Warlock being a human. I mean,
yes.
First of all, Adam. Speaking of snakes, when it comes to magic, Adam is also a snake, and even more of one now. He can burst people down, and he also had just about the same amount of healing as both of my healers put together.
Yeah.
So that boy was coming in clutch.
Yeah. This was a great game. Thank you guys for coming out, everyone who joined us.
Absolutely.
And if you want to join us next week, please do join the Discord. Grab yourself the Armed and Dangerous role in the channels and roles thing that you can do when you sign in. And meet us on, what is it, Tuesday nights at 7:30 Pacific time. Yeah.
And if you're not a sweat lord, like, and if you're nervous about stepping in because you're like, oh man, I don't want to like throw off the game or anything like that, please don't. Like, this is we've tried to say from the beginning, we are casual, informed perspective. If you have not observed. We haven't gotten past gold yet. So you are more than welcome. This is a super casual, fun, chill
Yeah.
setting. It's really friendly. There's no sweating, no swearing, no
And-
no.
Yeah, if you're
no
worried
flipping
about
at people,
making the
yeah.
team worse, you're replacing a bot by joining the team. So you're not
Exactly.
gonna make it worse.
Exactly. So, and even if you are worse than a normal bot, you're still welcome in Armed and Dangerous.
It's true. All right, well let's draft our teams for this next week.
Let's do
We
it.
have Blade in here now, so
Yeah.
he can be nominated if we just want to go back to the nomination thing. Do we want to do that whole flexible team comp nomination thing, or what do we want to do?
Well, I feel like I don't know. Unless we have a good reason to do something like that, I think the random. I'm like settling on the randomizer being what I like.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The flexible team comp.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you
Okay.
said like Oh, right. Your button is called nominate, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry. It gives you two options. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then let's start with you. You get the Thing or Psylocke.
How interesting. I say this every single time with Armed and
Interesting
Dangerous.
thing.
What an interesting thing. Well, here's the thing. That's what I'm going with.
Okay. I get the Thing or Squirrel Girl.
Oh gosh. Don't
right.
do it.
It's a Thing
Don't.
off.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm taking the Thing.
I was scared you were gonna play Squirrel Girl after your conversation about how she carried you.
You just did the full on like Emperor's New Groove. They're all in the corner, and he's just like pulling up the dress, and they're like, and then it's just a dagger, and they're like, oh, okay.
Oh, whoa. Yeah. All right. I feel better.
Okay. Doctor Strange or Black Widow?
Oh, whoa. Do I do something really interesting here? Do I play
You're gonna
Widow?
play Widow?
Do I play Widow? Oh man. I'm
You
gonna
are gonna have the advantage this week. You could risk it by playing.
I'm gonna freaking play Widow.
Heck yeah. Do it.
Yeah, this feels like my moment.
All right. I get Mr. Fantastic or Phoenix.
Ooh.
Do I go for the Fantastic Four?
Oh dang.
I'm gonna do Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, that's the right choice in my opinion.
And try to annoy you.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna play him though.
He's also just so good.
He is, yeah. You get Hawkeye or Blade?
No. Oh man, what is AI Blade gonna be like? I feel like it's gotta be bad, right? Like managing those kinds of combos and cooldowns. I'm going with Hawkeye.
Okay. No trust that you're gonna get a real human teammate to take Blade.
No, because he's too new. I don't know that anybody would be confident enough, honestly.
All right, Hawkeye.
I'm gonna do Hawkeye. Because on the off chance that I do get a human Hawkeye, that's gonna be Hawkeye Widow is gonna be the bane of your existence.
Okay, I get Rocket or Winter Soldier.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Rocket because I don't want to be left with one support again this week.
I know, right? Yeah, I would too.
Even though it worked out for me, but okay, you get Squirrel Girl or Mantis.
Do I do something real stupid here? I'm gonna. Oh, man, I'm gonna go I'm gonna go Mantis.
Yeah.
Because if I get that, if she damage buffs me or Hawkeye.
Yeah, that's actually that's gross. Okay, Emma Frost or Winter Soldier for me.
Ooh.
Emma can kind of shield against some of the sniping going on, but she is another like brawly, closer range pick.
Yeah,
I think I might need to.
Right now.
I think I might need to play Winter Soldier.
Ooh.
I think that's what I'm doing here.
Okay.
All right. You get Hulk or Iron Man.
Oh man. Wow, what a weird combo this is. I've got super frontline melee only tanks with two snipers. I gotta go with Hulk.
I mean, they're gonna be causing trouble for us.
I know, right? I'm hoping that they keep you distracted.
I get Emma Frost or Hawkeye.
Oh, one support. Oh no, you have two left. My bad.
I have two left. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Emma.
Yeah. Dang.
I'm just gonna try to soak up all your sniper damage. All right, you get Moon Knight or Wolverine as your last
Oh
one.
no!
Dude, you got double fastball special.
No, I don't want that. And I'm pretty sure that AI Wolverine is absolute butts because I feel like I've noticed that before. I'm going Moon Knight.
All right, I have essentially 3 tanks. You could have. All right, last pick.
Oh,
Hulk or the Punisher, dude. We're both going one support.
okay. Thank goodness.
Okay.
At least it's somewhat balanced. You're in a way better position though, I think, in general.
Trying to think. I think. Oh man, okay. Either I try to have the Punisher deal with your snipers, because your snipers are what I'm worried about, right?
Yeah.
Or I try to have the Hulk dive on your snipers and keep them busy. And I think I like that. So I'm going.
Dang,
going
triple
Hulk.
Vanguard.
Almost quadruple Vanguard. We're basically going Gator Squad of go all tanks, one rocket, except I'm playing Winter Soldier.
Yeah, yeah,
It has me winning by a lot.
I am not surprised.
Now they don't know that you're gonna have one more human than me, likely, unless we end up with an even
Yeah,
team. But
right.
it's got you with an SVP of your Hulk and LVP as Black Widow. So
Lies.
good luck living up to the low expectations. And for me, it's got Rocket Raccoon as my MVP. That's par for the course. And the LVP is Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
So it expects nothing from either of us.
Yeah, that's pretty great. No, I think you're in the team comp advantage here. My hope is that you can't do enough damage.
Yeah.
But because I only have one support, and honestly, because it's Mantis,
Right. You're
I
not
think
gonna have
I'm
a lot
in.
of healing.
Yeah, this is gonna be. I'm gonna have to really, really bank on being able to kill all of you quickly, and I'm not sure that I can because of how nasty tanky your team is.
Yeah, I've loaded up as much health. Like literally, just the strategy is as much HP as I possibly can.
Right. Well, and then even if I do
Rocket
kill
heal a
you,
lot.
yeah, and then you come back from the dead because you've got a BRB.
Yeah, I think I don't want to get cocky, but I think I got this.
Oh no. Is this where the prophecy has already been broken, man? You don't need to break it further. We don't need to do reverse sweep here, do we? I lost 9 games in a row, dude.
3.5 is my season. It's gonna happen.
Oh, man. Well, come what may, I suppose.
This all happened because you picked Widow.
Yeah, I know. I could have played Doctor Strange, and then who knows what would have happened. Somewhere in the multiverse, I would have been given a perfect 2-2-2 comp, and that's all right.
All right.
Main topic part 2, Electric Boogaloo. To kick off part 2 of our main topic, we're going to go over the hero hot list. There's a couple things on here of note. We mentioned it. There's got to be somewhere that has done it. I'm sure we've mentioned it multiple times throughout our show's history that we wish we could go back and see the previous hero hot list to measure the trajectory. I'm sure if we ever do get that information at some point, Nick is going to go way overboard as he do and create a graph of the rise and fall of each individual.
That would be
hero.
amazing. I want to do that so bad.
I knew you would, buddy. I knew you would.
Dude, that would oh man. See, this makes me sad because I don't think it's anywhere. I don't think anyone thought to like copy all the information down at the beginning of the first season. And they don't have it public anymore. So I don't know. I should have done it. I thought about it during season 0. I was like, oh, we should. But I think, you know what I thought at the time, and I think what a lot of people
You could have been
thought,
the guy. You could have been the one who saved the Marvel Rivals multiverse.
What's weird to me is that the Rivals page does not let you change seasons.
Yeah.
Like I think I just assumed like, oh yeah, they'll just add another tab like they have for platform or game mode or whatever. And then
Yeah.
they did.
Right.
Maybe the Internet Archive Wayback Machine thing will have it.
I was gonna say that would be my only other thought, but we have, to no surprise, or I mean, maybe to some surprise, but to no surprise of the majority of the community who's hating on him right now, Black Panther with the highest freaking win rate in the game in across all competitive ranks. And once you look at some of the higher ranks, that starts falling off in like Grandmaster. He like sinks down throughout, but man, in our where we're fighting, he's winning a lot.
Yeah.
And his pick rate is slowly increasing. So that's a scary thing.
You know, you say his win rate sinks, but I mean, it's still above 50% all the way up to top 500. And it's still 52.5% in Grandmaster. So it's not like he ever gets even decent. He's always good.
Yeah. Right. Well, and this is, again, I don't have a way to verify 100%, but by the feeling in my mouse wheel scrolling finger and my my recollection, I think this is the most heroes we've had above 50%.
I think so too.
And
I was going to say that actually.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. So I'm glad you agree. And then, I mean, once we get past 50%, like still a lot of heroes in 49%, high 48%. Like this is not until you get to the very end do you get a steep drop off from Punisher to Widow.
Yeah.
A whopping 5-point drop off. But yeah, it's good to see if that is true. And I mean, if we both feel like it is, I feel like we're probably right. Good to see more heroes be more viable in more situations, you know?
Yeah.
And a lot of these heroes are, you know, chilling at pretty reasonable pick rates. I feel like Cloak and Dagger is somehow even higher than ever at a 26.4. Like, but
Emma's really high with a high win rate too.
Well, the thing that scares me is that Ultron is still like outrageously high. And though his pick rate is lower than a lot of other strategists like Cloak and Dagger and Luna and Loki and stuff, like, ooh man, 55% at a 5.6% win rate. I'm scared that they're gonna nerf him again, and I really don't want them to. I feel like my thing is if they're under 5% pick rate, but and like 55% plus win rate, they don't touch them because they're like, all right, this is like a very selective, very high skill portion of the player base that is very small, who is able to like execute really well with these heroes. But once they get above 5%, I feel like we start seeing a trend of like, all right, this hero is overtuned.
Yeah. I think looking at strategists in general, strategists looks like they're all in a pretty good place, other than poor Adam. Last season, like if you,
I don't think he has to worry about that anymore. But spoilers.
Yeah. But if you sort by pick rate, right? In comp at all ranks, you have, you know, the top 3 pick rate ones are the 3 lifelines of Cloak and Dagger, Luna Snow, Invisible Woman, and they all predictably have lower win rates, like below 50%, because they're anchoring the team and like they're not the one that gets to decide how things go. But you know, if you don't have them, you're losing, and you know, whatever. And then you have Rocket, who's probably the one outlier still in the like powerful direction of, he's like the 4th most played and also the highest win rate. But Jeff still, you know, 47%. Maybe Jeff could still use some help. But then you got this little contingent down here of like some of the lesser played strategists, like Loki, Ultron, Mantis, are all like massively doing well, but are the lower pick rate ones. So I mean, I think other than, you know, Jeff and Adam, like everyone else looks like they were in a good spot for 3.0, which is good to see. Right.
I mean, and even Adam's pick rate being the 2nd lowest in the game, but his win rate's, you know, 49.4. It's he was pretty close to breaking even.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think when you look at this and you see the Adam Warlock buffs, Iron Fist, I don't know why, but you see, you know, Star-Lord buffs and things like that. It does make sense. Just kind of coming back to the data-driven balance changes that they do.
Yeah. Yeah, and on Vanguard, it looks like everyone was doing pretty well except for Venom and Groot. Um, Thor is still surprising to me, but I guess you and I just don't understand Thor. Like,
I will say I noticed this last week that I was getting killed by Thor a lot. Like Thor, if he's landing his awakened rune lightning bolts, that dude is putting out a buttload of damage. And as a while I was playing Blade, I was noticing where there were a couple games where I'm like, oh man, I'm like getting bodied by this Thor. So yeah.
The last couple things I want to say on this is if you go over to Duelists, my Iron Man hate this last season was not imagined. Like, he's got a high pick rate for Duelists, and he's at a 53% win rate.
Yeah.
So I'm justified, and and Phoenix did better than I expected for being the highest play rate for the season, even in comp, which is surprising.
Right.
That the new character gets that much love in comp.
I was very surprised by that.
She was still over 50%, and it's not people like knowing how to play her super well yet, right? Like, she never really felt like a problem whenever I was playing against her. I honestly like had kind of this weird relationship when I was playing as her, where I sometimes I felt great and sometimes I just felt awful. But like the stats are bearing out that she's a good addition to the roster.
Yeah. Just one final note about Iron Man. When you break it down like this, that of the 3 duelists who have higher win rates than him, he has double all of their more than double for a couple of them, but he has double all of their pick rates. That's crazy. And then you go underneath him and it drops off back down to Wolverine at 3.5. So yeah, having a 6.5 and a 53% win rate, that's I wonder if we see some Iron Man nerfs in season 4.
Right. Yeah, that 4th slot for Duelists on win rate is like this one might be a problem because the 3 that are always above it are always Black Panther, Magic, and Storm, and they've always just kind of lived there, except for season 0 where Storm wasn't up there. But
yeah. I'm also curious to see. I know for certain that Black Panther 3.73 pick rate increases this season, and we'll see by how much.
And then you know what? There's actually one more thing I want to say on here. I'm happy to see Psylocke have a good season.
Yeah,
2.5 was awful for Psylocke.
Yeah,
and that was when they gave her the nerf. They didn't buff her or anything going into 3. It fit better for Psylocke. I don't know what I'm trying to say here other than she's a 52% win rate again and being played decently a lot.
Yeah, I have like absolutely seen her more, for sure. I think right now people are really focusing on strategist slaying.
Yeah.
And so we're seeing a lot of those kind of flank able folks be played more.
Yeah, it makes me wonder because we were talking about strategists looked like they were all in kind of a good spot. And it could be that when strategists are healthy, that Psylocke kind of rises up the ranks because she's not the Black Panther Magic like always super heavy win rate flanker, right? But her and Iron Fist can kind of come up whenever strategists are in a good spot.
Yeah, makes sense to me.
All right,
balance patch.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Okay, so this is one of the shorter ones, but some big things in here for sure. Maybe to kick it off, you want to? I have a winner. I don't know that I have a loser necessarily. I don't feel like anybody got like hit too hard. But I definitely have a winner. Do you feel like you have one?
Oh, I kind of want to go through these before I want to refresh my memory on what the specific changes were because I've had characters that I enjoy a lot more right now, but that's kind of clouding my judgment. But yeah, this is definitely the smallest one that we've had. Kind of fits with what we just talked about in the hero hot list. Like it seems like things are getting more stable. We had 2 and 2.5 where it felt like things were way out of whack and everyone was all over the place. and they were at the time they were changing like 22 characters each time there was a new season balance patch. This one only has 12 changes, and then the team up changes. But
Yeah.
12 characters out of a 41 character roster, they're only touching a quarter of them now instead of half. That's a huge difference. So I like seeing the game look like it's getting more stable for sure.
Yeah. Me too. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say mine now so that
Okay.
no one can say that I changed my opinion. I think Adam Warlock is the winner, which is very nice to say after Adam Warlock getting freaking kneecapped and crippled in every single update for some reason. I think this change is very short on paper, but is absolutely game changing in his actual like moment to moment gameplay. So
I will agree that I think balance patch wise, Adam Warlock is the winner. I think season wise, I think I said it at the beginning of last episode. I think this is Mantis's season. Wow, what happened to my voice right there? Just because of the team up stuff, and then I think her changes have been better than I thought they would be. But we'll get to those. We should start with the Vanguards.
Cool. Let's kick it off with Doctor Strange. The master of the mystic arts is getting a little oomph in his arsenal. His daggers of Danak projectile charges increase from 8 to 10. So he has to reload less. Amazing. And then it reduced Cloak of Levitation cooldown from 15 seconds to 12 seconds. So he's a little more mobile, can fly around a little bit more. From day one, Strange good. Strange probably always going to be good. This makes Strange better.
This makes Strange a lot better.
Yeah. It just like with whenever someone gets a change to their like ammo count, it always seems really insignificant, but for the players who really play those characters, like it's way more important than you might think.
Yeah.
I haven't been playing Strange as much, but I know I read I experienced this when they nerfed the damage potential, and I've heard people say that this allows him to get one extra kill than he normally would be able to before reloading, which is really big. So yeah,
and that Cloak of Levitation cooldown is really good too. Like being able to fly a lot more frequently. Like I've been having to use that to escape a lot more when I play Strange than I used to, because there's so much going on the ground.
Yeah.
And we also, on the flip side, on games where you don't have so much going on the ground, you have flyers then.
You have so much going on in the air.
Right. Him having a way to go up and deal with them is really nice. So this whole like temporary flight being more accessible really helps him like in all circumstances in different ways. It's also nice for the classic like fly into the air, use your ult thing. Not having to wait as long, if you'd already used it. So I think he's in a good spot there. So Groot, I am Groot is their note for that, and we don't need to translate that. I'll just tell you what it says. So they increased his left click vine strike range from 20 to 20 meters. That's pretty similar to what we saw with the Emma like beam change.
Yeah.
And that was pretty massive for her. So I think that'll help him deal with flyers and people a little bit further away, which is great. Yep. And then they increased the Flora Colossus effect range radius from 20 to 24 meters. That is his passive, which is just how big of a radius he has where his walls will activate when he does damage. So that little wall activation that does extra damage when someone's near it, he can be further away from that now, which makes sense if they're increasing his left click, because now someone can be at your full distance with a wall behind them, and if they're within 2 meters of that wall, it's going to go off.
Magneto gets a tune down to his survivability. They reduced Metal Bulwark and Iron Bulwark's shields values from 300 to 250. So those are his bubbles that he can put on himself or others. And remember, the value has nothing to do with health. Those bubbles absorb all damage that is delivered. So this is the amount of energy that they have. as they take damage, Magneto gets his rings replaced, which allow him to do his right click thing and whatnot. So now he can get one less than he can from these bubbles.
Nice. And then we got Thor.
That's
I
not
think
nice.
Thor.
That's bad. Poor Magneto.
Well, I mean, he's consistently the best tank in the game. We got Thor, and Thor. I actually like what they're doing here with Thor. Thor's getting a boost. So first, they're giving him one Thor Force every time, no matter what, upon exiting Awakening Rune. So you use your F when you come out of it. You're gonna have one Thor Force every single time, which you could use to immediately dash.
That's amazing.
Towards someone. That's huge. And then they're also adding a new effect to his lightning realm, which is that bubble that he makes that slows everyone and gives them Thor Force depending on people coming in and out of it. Anytime someone leaves it, they're grounded for 2 seconds, making them not able to fly. So if you dive onto a Human Torch or an Iron Man or someone who's going to try to fly away, you can drop that E, and now they're on the ground, ready to get that frog hammer squeaky sound into the temple.
I've enjoyed that so much. I imagine that if I were Thor main, I would get annoyed with that. I think that's the most dramatic like SFX change that we've had in the game, but it is really funny. Well, moving on now to the duelists. We've got Black Panther getting it's not enough of a nerf, in my opinion. They increased his Spirit Rend cooldown from 8 seconds to 10 seconds, so they're interrupting his flow a little bit, but
you miss, basically.
Yeah, right. But this is it. I think it doesn't solve the core issue of if he lands, you are dead 100%, and he is unkillable. Like there's nothing you can do to stop this from happening.
Yeah, this one's funny to me because like they're giving him a bigger penalty for missing that ability, right? So that it doesn't automatically recharge itself. But the Black Panthers that are causing the problem are hitting it every time.
Right.
And the ones that are missing, you're already killing anyway because they're not good. So to me, this just puts the gap even further of like either Black Panther is exactly how he was before if they were a problem, and if it was the one that was throwing, he's just throwing more. It was like I don't know, but anyway, now we got Iron Fist. A lot of this is just them doing the typical tweak they do whenever they remove a team up anchor. So they're increasing Jeet Kune Do's 5th strike damage from 50 to 55. They're increasing. Why am I reading Iron Fist?
I was just about to say. I'm so glad that you got this time. I'm pretty sure I got him last time. No, I think I got him last time.
You always hand me Iron Fist. Don't lie. They're increasing that one's percentage damage of the enemy's max health per strike from 2.1 to 2.7. So these are trying to just offset the team up anchor thing, but I think these are a bit higher than what you're losing. It might be a little bit of a buff anyway. And then they're adjusting his Harmony Recovery bonus health decay time from 1 seconds to 2 seconds, and that's the start time. So basically what they're saying is he's going to have that bonus health for a second longer than he did before, which is a huge deal. Yeah. And then his Kunlun Kicks first strike damage is going from 30 to 35. So slight damage boost to Iron Fist, but the big one for me is he's gonna keep that bonus health from his recovery longer. So
that's gross. And I feel like I have experienced that too, where like, man, there was a game where we were getting rolled and the Iron Fist was just making everything so much worse because he felt like he was just unkillable. Like I just could not output enough damage to break through all that bonus health and whatnot. But well, speaking of bonus health and being unkillable, it's Star-Lord here getting a little bit of that in his kit now. So they just gave him a 25 bonus health when he uses his Stellar Shift, which is his like dodge, basically his
His
dodge and reload
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So now, not only does he take no damage, not only does he reload his weapons, but now he gets bonus health to be even more obnoxious on the outside of that. The bonus health, it can only be 25, so he can't like use both of his charges and get 50 health. And then it only lasts for 3 seconds before decaying in 1 second. So. But still, that's nice, especially in the heat of combat. If you're dodging something, we've seen how much that extra 50 to 75 Ultron firewall bonus health can do. Like 25 can make a difference.
Yeah, I would imagine if you're a Star-Lord main, this is going to change up your like typical way that you fight a little bit, because now you're going to be trying to spread those reloads out 3 seconds apart to get that bonus health, right, and get the max value out of both of your charges of the Stellar Shift. And then you've also got the teleporter to play with this season, so it might be an interesting time to be a Star-Lord main.
Mm-hmm.
But then we got Wolverine, who just getting slapped on the wrist a little bit more than he already was in that emergency patch. They're increasing the energy cost of Last Stand, his ultimate, from 2,800 to 3,400. And then the life steal that he gets from the Phoenix team up no longer contributes to his ultimate ability energy. So that's nice. He's not going to get his ult faster whenever you have a Phoenix on the team.
I was going to say, because of how like fast the tick rate was on that thing, I'm curious. I'd love to see someone do a breakdown on like how much that was actually doing. Yeah, because that's crazy to think about. Yeah. So finishing off the duelists with Spooderman, your friendly neighborhood web slinger, they increased the damage per second of his ultimate ability. Why? Why would you do this from 150 to 170? Does Necros have one of your devs in a room with a gun to his head or something? Like, what is going on here? Spider-Man doesn't need a buff. I like, not according to the hot list, not according to anything. Stop. I'm sure you have your reasons, but I don't like them.
Does this match up, Josiah, with what you know of how they balance? Where's this coming from?
This one in particular doesn't. I'm not sure what's happening here, but all right. We just got to do what we got to do.
Yeah. But you know what is great?
Oh my goodness. Tell me about it.
This is the prediction that I'm so glad to be wrong about. We were just saying, oh yeah, they're going to put Adam Warlock, 6 feet underground this season, because that's what they do. But they didn't. They finally made him a character again.
Oh my goodness.
Which they call a slight cosmic buff, but that's to his ultimate ability frequency. But yeah. That is a slight cosmic buff. His ult cost is going down from 5,000 to 4,700. And then they're giving, or gave, I guess it's in the past now, they gave his ult a new effect, which is pretty cool. So revived allies gain bonus health equal to 70% of their maximum health, which lasts for 5 seconds before decaying to 0 over 2 seconds. So what's going on here is he resurrects people at 30% health, which before you were just resurrected at 30% health, and then you just get immediately murdered. Yeah. And he pulled the whole team res off, and then they all just died anyway. Right. Now, you are temporarily, for the first 5 seconds, really the first 7 seconds as it's decaying, but for the first 7 seconds of coming back, you're kind of at full health, except a lot of it's bonus health, which means you can still get healed up during that time to get to real full health while still having the bonus health and be really hard to kill. Yeah. So it's just really like giving you a benefit from doing the quick heal once you res everyone, while taking away the like instant death that his ult often was, even when it succeeded. So that's great.
I have made it through an Adam Warlock ult and survived to fight the rest of the battle more times in this 1 week than I think I have in the entire history of this game.
100%. I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was needed. Also needed, is this other one, which I think is the one that really fixed Adam.
Yep.
His right click, where you charge up the
Mhm.
cluster of cosmic whatever before shooting it. They have now added the recharge time reduction for his heal to this as well. It used to only be on a headshot with your left click with your
Yeah.
primary fire, but now it is also on the charge up. So there's actually no penalty to using the charge up towards your healing. You can pick whatever you need in the time being, and each time you hit someone with your charge up, it's a third of a second going away
Yeah.
from your heal charge, which is huge.
That's a second and a half. That's 1.5 seconds if you land it full. If you land the full blast, because he has 5 projectiles per blast, and his life stream has a 6-second cooldown. So you are basically cutting off a third of the cooldown every time you land this. Like that's nuts to see. Like, having played a couple of games as Adam, and just seeing the healing potential like in the post game score screen stuff of my like fellow Adam players in the round. Like, oh my goodness, it feels so much better. It feels like you are healing so much more because of this, because that right click is his best thing. If you were Zenyatta in Overwatch, you were not holding left click, you were holding right click and trying to pop squishies when they got a little cocky and encroached on your territory. There was one Adam Warlock I was fighting in a ranked game this week who was so devious, and I can't wait to adopt this strategy to my own play style with him. He was just like, he was in the back line and he was sitting with the charge, and I would be walking up from the side, and at the last second he would whip 90, like he knew I was there, but he didn't want me to know I was there. He didn't want me to know he knew I was there. So like, just as I got within range for it to be viable for him to land all those shots, he would whip and unleash instantly, and I'd be like at 20% health and be like, oh my gosh, oh no, like panicking, like I'm not gonna be able to kill him before he gets another one of those off. Like, oh my goodness. Yeah. And then even if I was trying to kill him, now he's refreshed the cooldown on his heal and he snaps his fingers and heals himself.
Right. I mean, just over the course of the game, you see it with the Ultron heal bot has taught all of this that like any reducing cooldown or increase in healing, you know, incrementally over the course of an entire game makes a huge difference to the amount of healing output that you can get. And so losing a quarter of the cooldown of one of his heals every single time you like successfully right click someone over the course of a whole game is thousands upon thousands of extra healing that you're doing in clutch moments. Adam finally feels good, and I'm gonna play Adam this season. It's gonna happen.
Oh, dude,
there's too many supports that feel great right now.
I know.
But I'm gonna do it.
That's a great place for the game to be. I mean, just health wise, like I love that. Moving on to Cloak and Dagger. So basically, they just get a nerf to their ultimate. Their ult charge goes up from 4,000 to 4,300. And
we're back, boys. Changing Cloak and Dagger's ultimate every time there's a bounce match.
Still the most modified ability in the game. We've said that there's no way they can keep this up, but
and they're like, "Oh, let's do a little tweak to the ultimate energy.
Right,
that won't change anything."
Well, with Cloak and Dagger's pick rate and win rate increasing according to the hot list, I mean, this is no surprise.
Yep. Well, and then we got Mantis, who, much like Iron Fist, is getting one of those team up anchor adjustment things. So it's going to be a whole bunch of numbers that kind of equal to things being mostly the same.
Yeah.
However, a little less in the case of Mantis than typical. So she gets a team up anchor that increases her healing by 10%. And that means that the initial burst healing on each time she puts a heal on you, it actually has quite a significant like increase in burst, which is nice. And to pay for that, they're reducing the healing over time effect from 12.5 heal a second to 10. So that actually means that the long tail of her heal does much less, but the burst is doing more up front. So it kind of positions her more in a spot that I think is maybe even better for her.
Yeah,
really, that you save people a little bit more than just kind of
Right.
setting them up for the next 16 seconds. But then they're also reducing her projectile charges from 20 to 15. So that's a bit of a bummer. But with the Mantis Loki buffs stacking in the team up, maybe that's necessary.
Yeah,
So she can't just
I know,
wipe out
right?
an entire team.
Seriously.
And then they're increasing her ultimate ability, Excess Healing, to bonus health conversion rate from 0.7 to 1. So when we look at her ultimate ability, it's got on it, if I can find it really quick, it's got on it right now that any extra healing that you get over max health,
Yeah.
it starts converting to bonus health up to 150. And it used to be before this
0.7 to
that it
1.
was at 0.7 to 1. Now you're getting 100% of anything extra is going to get to that 150 cap. So this almost feels similar to the rocket ult change. Like it's giving a little bit more of a constant bonus health on everyone around you while you're mantis-ing.
Yeah, and her ult her ult was already, it felt like it always felt like Luna Light, but with her being able to get it a bit more, and now with this extra bonus health coming in, like she can hopefully find more of her own place, a little bit more burst healing too, like like Luna has. A lot of the complaints that I hear about Mantis is that like when you really get into a violent kill or be killed team fight, Mantis is not the healer that you want on your side, because she's not going to be able to keep you alive while all that kind of damage is coming in. But I mean, you see in her win rate 43.48%, like that's that is pretty, that's pretty
43?
stellar.
You mean 53?
53, sorry, 53.48%. Yeah, my bad. That's what I meant to say. Like that is pretty good. So it's really good. Yeah. That's what I mean. It is kind of surprising that she gets this tune. I have heard people say this could be an interesting conversation to have some other time, but I have heard people say that please remove the anchor bonuses to team ups, because it's making reading patch notes get really obnoxious.
Yeah,
and
if they're gonna do this thing where they're always constantly just making them equal whenever they add or remove them, they're useless. Like they're not actually doing anything if they're bouncing it all out every time they add or remove it. So I'm kind of starting to get on that train, but I'd rather be on the train of let's just make them actually mean something.
Yeah, yeah. I think there's value in having like obviously you have to have someone to give it, because you need at least 2 characters to get a team up. So there has to be like, you can't just like remove the anchor hero from the equation.
Right. Yeah.
But like, what else would you do? I don't know. Like other than give them also another ability and just make every team up where everyone in it gets an ability. Like, I don't know. That seems like that'd be really hard.
But it seems like most of their team ups, the concept is one character's superpowers are being lended to the other characters in it, right?
Yeah,
like the Mantis one, like she's giving her abilities to the other two, right? And so like it does kind of feel weird to pigeonhole it into everything having to be like the Cap Bucky one where they're doing something together and they both get the ability. So I like it. It's just I don't think that you can. I think the mistake maybe that they made was starting with 15-20% boosts and stuff like that made it so that they had to like get on this thing of completely
be pretty dramatic.
Yeah, I mean, just give me a 5%.
Yeah, I was
healing
just about
buff
to say that.
It actually is a 5% healing buff, and the character is 5% better than they normally are, and it changes the meta. Like I don't know, I'd be happy for that.
Yeah.
But anyway,
well, the last part of this balance update is on team ups. So go listen to episode 27 of Friends and Rivals podcast to get the information on that.
We did just talk about those. The one thing we did not mention in that episode that we specifically left for this one is Spidey, the one balance change they made to an existing team up, which was the Ever-Burning Bond, Human Torch, Spider-Man. This one takes a little bit of an explanation, but we'll read the patch note first. They say, we've increased Spider-Man's combo potential after using his team up. Reduce the backflip distance after activation from 10 meters or from 12 meters to 7 meters, allowing for more reliable follow-ups with moves like Amazing Combo. So basically, when he uses the Human Torch thing and puts the fire tracer on them, he backflips like automatically without you being able to stop it. And he was going back 12 meters, which is really far, and makes it hard to aim your get over here or whatever it is that you're trying to do to get back in on them and punch them. So they reduced it almost by half to make it a little bit easier to combo on it.
It was almost a disengage, and now it's just like part of his combo,
right? Which is what it's meant to be. Yeah.
So I think that's cool. I think I want to play Spider-Man. Like I enjoy when I have played him. I played him a couple more times actually this last week, or like 2 weeks ago, because my son really wanted to watch me play Spider-Man, and we had just like 20 minutes. And so I was like, I'll play a couple quick plays and I'll insta-lock Spider-Man with my super speedy SSD. And I did both times.
Why does he like Spider-Man so much?
Well, Nick, you know, there's some media that's been created, and he's just kind of into it. So moving on. Yeah, he's super cool, and they keep buffing him. So maybe this is telling me to go play Spider-Man.
You know what? The review that we're gonna read off in a couple weeks is also gonna tell you to go play Spider-Man.
I know, so right? Yeah.
You might need to do it.
Maybe it'll make Spider Joe come back too. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Who knows?
Anything to make Spider Joe come back.
Well, Spider Joe, if you're listening, I don't know if these Reddit takes of the week have anything to do with stuff that you're interested in. Probably not, actually, based on what I remember from these. But enjoy, Spider Joe, and everyone else.
Yeah. All right, so our first Reddit take is actually a Spotify comment, so it's really more of a mailbag from Wise Old Man P, who gave us this comment a couple weeks ago on the Look Back quarterly review episode, the famous 3-hour plus episode.
Why'd you have to bring that up?
Oh wait, no, it wasn't on that one. It was on the next one about heroes that tilt us.
Wow, so you just brought that up for no reason. Okay.
No reason at all to mention the long episode.
Yeah.
But
were you expecting me to say something?
I don't know. Maybe.
What's your problem, man?
This video game is just gonna like tank the podcast because we're always gonna be baiting each other into saying things.
Oh man.
So yeah, he says, love the pod, thought you guys might enjoy this, and he gave us a link to a YouTube video that we just watched before recording this, so we don't have to stop in the middle of it. It's like an animation, kind of reminds me of the Carbot ones.
Oh yeah.
Of that Bucky commercial, and we'll put it in the show notes.
Commercial.
But
you owe it to yourself to watch it. It's pretty amazing.
Okay, so I actually
sharing that, old man B.
Yeah, I have a story about this. It's unfortunate. So I watched that video when he sent it, and then I noticed it was like this. I think it's called That One Guy's Animations, right? It's a whole channel, and so I was like, oh, I wonder if he has any other rival stuff. And he does. And it, I don't remember what the video was called, but it was like, something about the experience of playing Emma Frost in Marvel Rivals, I think. And I'm watching it to try to see like what other Emma Frost in Marvel Rivals. I'm watching it to see like what the rest of them are like if I'm gonna start watching all of these. And no joke, my wife walks in.
Oh no.
At an exact moment where Emma Frost is literally like squeezing Black Panther's skull with her thighs. She's like, what are you watching? And then Black Panther explodes. And I was like, I don't know.
Oh man.
So I guess thank you, Wise Old Man P, for that.
And subscribe. I'll be going through these later.
All right, and then I got a Reddit take I just saw this a week ago, and I thought it was humorous. It just says a memento from one of my comp games, and then in quotes, doing the big head. And it's got this like heart-shaped locket that's opening up, and it has Jeff with the big head emote on the inside, and the inscription says, "Jeff, turn around! Stop doing the big head." And they just say, "I was Jeff, and the enemy team had a lever. It was 6v5, so I decided to do the big head because I must." That guy on my team freaked out because someone was behind me. Keep in mind, we were absolutely destroying them at this point in the game. There was absolutely no urgency at all, but this guy was furious at my big head shenanigans. He exclaimed, "Jeff, turn around! Stop doing the big head!" And that's when I knew what I must create.
I love that this post has no upvotes and no comments.
No, I found it the moment it came out, and no one referenced it. So you know what, Metavance? I see you.
Take my upvote. You now have, well, Reddit always gives you one upvote when you post. So now you have one human who has upvoted your post. I love the Jeff Big Head. I got the Jeff Big Head when we had the Big Head Rumble because, of course, who else is gonna have cute?
I got the thing.
You know, that's a pretty good one too. That's a pretty good one too. I won't lie.
It actually feels proportional on him when he has the big head hat.
Yeah. I unlocked. I finished. Well, I didn't finish because I skipped stuff, but I got the Jeff Symbiote skin today.
Nice.
And the very first thing I did was I went into the practice range. I used his stuck to the ground emote, and then I used the big head emote.
Nice. I got to do that tomorrow. Well, I don't have the big head, but I have to get that skin.
Yeah. You can for only 400 units in the Marvel Rivals store.
No, the Battle Pass one. I mean, like I'm close. I'm like 400.
Oh! I thought you meant the big head. The big head one. No. So our second Reddit take of the week is an interesting one. So this one comes from Strict Engineer 2090, and they disagree with an entire episode of our podcast. They say a healing received stat is only gonna make the game more toxic. Ooh, hot take. They go on to say, support seem to think this will be the end-all be-all decision that will somehow make DPS and tank players open their eyes and be like, you know what? You did heal me. I'll take full accountability for the loss now. They're just going to now say, you healed blank more than me? What gives? Or, I'm solo tanking and you gave the DPS players more heals? Question mark, question mark, question mark? Or, GG, woulda won if our healers actually focused anyone outside the tanks. Or even, yeah, I have the most healing received, but that doesn't mean you did good. There will always be an excuse, and there will always be someone to blame. Heck, I've seen support players say DPS sold even though they got the most damage / kills. Yeah. Stats don't mean shoop, and it won't stop people from being toxic. If anything, it'll just make them more toxic. LOL. What do you think about this?
I'm actually going to pretty much disagree with this 100%.
Dang. All right.
I 100%, like, people are going to find ways to be toxic, and if you give them this stat, like, it will give the support player more like ammunition to know to themselves that, like, okay, I was healing the people I was supposed to be healing. Like, the guy who's yelling that I'm not healing him, that's patently false. I know that. But no amount of reality is ever going to stop the people at the end of the game who are trying to find someone to blame for losing. Like, it's just the thing. Like,
yeah,
people who are trying to find people to blame don't look at reality. It's not like you've made up your mind that you're trying to blame someone. So I agree with the statement that, like, it's not going to fix it. Like, it's not going to make people
right.
Stop making excuses for things. You were talking about how this was like disagreeing with our whole episode about stats that are important that don't show up on the scoreboard. Right. I don't think it disagrees with the fact that, like, those stats are important.
Right now.
But I don't think my thought when we were making that episode was that if we just had more stats, people would be less toxic, because I don't think that's the problem. I think the problem is people. So
Yeah, I think that I'm pretty much right with you. Like, I mean, we made an episode about things the scoreboard doesn't tell you, and I specifically said, like, I hope we do get some of this stuff on the scoreboard, especially when it comes to, oh my gosh, just freaking put objective time on there, please. Why is
Yeah.
that not one of them? That's such a
Yeah,
big
I want to
deal.
see all that stuff too. Yeah.
Yeah, but I I had something to say, and I don't anymore, because I think you you summed up a lot of it. Dang it! What was I going to say?
Well, what do you think about that? There's a pretty good comment. It's the first comment here. They referenced Death in Gaming, which is a channel that I've referenced before.
Yeah, I know. I thought of you when I read that.
And he says, watched a video from Death in Gaming that was eye-opening as someone who feels the strongest on strategist. First few minutes was the demonstration that against Punisher with his primary, no strategist will out-heal him in neutral. Granted, it might make me a bit blind to times I could do better, but it still showcases that a player can basically be pocketed and they can still get KO'd a lot if the DPS and support are about equal in hitting their target. That's like eye-opening to realize that, like, there are certain characters, and they're the ones that people are always just like, I'm just getting mowed down. Where's the heals? Like, when you have a Squirrel Girl Punisher, pick your third sustain, like Hela on the other team. Like, there is no amount of healing in the game that will allow you to stand in the middle and take those shots. And, like, I've definitely felt those games where I'm like, I'm playing Magneto, and I'm like, I still can't walk onto the objective. Like, there's no way. So that's great, because that realizing that, like, helps you know that, like, you just have to change your strategy. Like, you can't try to fight them head on if they have the right characters. You know?
And strategists, like, healers are not meant to out heal the damage you receive. Like, that's just not what they're designed to do. It's not supposed to be one for one. Healers, the strategists, I mean, the name, of course, comes back again. They're not just like heal bots, but they're meant to be another tool in the arsenal. Like, they're meant to offset the damage, but you have to partner that with good positioning, good peeling, good situational awareness, making sure that if you're going to break the rubber band, like, that you're on your own. All that stuff is so important. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, you finish. Sorry.
I was going to not continue that thought. I remembered what I was going to say, and it's not related to that at all. So you go.
Well, then we'll finish this first. I think that this is actually kind of blowing my mind, like that comment showing the demonstration with the Punisher. Like, because I think that is a huge assumption that we all just kind of have is like, strategists are supposed to make it so I don't die. Like, if they were healing me 100% of the time,
I wouldn't die.
I wouldn't die. And, like, if you think, like, now that I've slowed down and thought for a second, like, if you think about the math on that for even 5 seconds, if 2 strategists could out heal, like, 2 DPS and 2 tanks doing damage, no one would ever die and the game would never end, and there would be no way to make progress. Like, it has to be that you can't out heal all the damage coming in, because otherwise you can never push. And, like, 2 of the game modes are all about pushing and winning fights and winning fights and winning fights. So, like, I think, honestly, if we all just kind of had that mindset shift of, okay, the strategists are just going to make it so that some of my mistakes are covered for a little bit longer, rather than, like, they're supposed to keep me alive. Like, man, that would change a lot about how you play.
Right. Yeah. One of my main in Overwatch for the majority of the games, well, not of the game's lifespan, it's still going, but was
the game's lifespan in your heart. Yeah.
I know. Yeah. Was Mercy, and Mercy had no burst heal capability whatsoever. She was just like steady, pretty high steady, but steady heals over time. With Resurrection. And I remember, like, one of my favorite parts of playing Mercy was when, your tank or someone else critical to the battle finally, like, gave out. You could resurrect them. and like keep the fight going. But if they were stupid and just taking on all of the damage that they had taken that got them killed in the first place again, they're just gonna die again. And now I don't have the tool that I have to keep the battle flowing. Like, yeah, if you're dying and you don't change your strategy, there's nothing that your supports can do to keep you from spiraling into death. The comment that I was going to make that I remembered is that the core flaw, or at least one of the core flaws in Strict Engineer's argument is Battlefield 2042, I'm in a Battlefield mindset, did this. They basically removed the score screen from the game because they didn't want toxicity to brew and for people to worry about their like kills and deaths and stuff. They wanted them to focus on like squad performance was highlighted and like objective points were highlighted and things like that. And everybody freaking hated it. It was massive outcry against like, this is ridiculous. Like I can't even see my own performance. And like, I want to see how everybody's doing. Like if we're losing, I want to know where the breakdown happened. So like every stat that you give somebody is potential ammunition to flame somebody else, if you want to think of it that way. So you're never going to get past that. But still, I would argue that more information is better. And when we've experimented with less information, everyone hates it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm always going to want information just because, how am I supposed to make all my spreadsheets without it?
Exactly. Well, if you're looking for even more Friends and Rivals information, you can join us on our socials at Friends and Rivals on Instagram or at Friend Rival Pod on X or on Discord via the link in the show notes. And if you got a question you'd like us to answer in our next episode, you could drop it in our Discord chat or in the comments on Spotify for this episode, or you could send us an email. Oh yeah, and thanks for listening to this episode. That's part of this whole thing too. You made it through. Congratulations. I think it's one of the shortest episodes we've had in a while. So take that extra time and jump into some Marvel Rivals multiverse shenaniganery.
What is the Spider-Man thing that your son likes?
We'll see you in the multiverse.
No! See ya.